Hi, it's Jeffrey Cohen, Chicago Quantum, U.S. Advanced Computing Infrastructures Incorporated. This is a live stream to talk about home improvement and the do-it-yourself and professional market, Q1 2024. So you might ask, Jeffrey, you haven't made a video in a while. What's going on? So I've been busy, but I figured out something and I wanted to talk to you. So there are a bunch of stocks that we like, from Emerson Electric and Tectonic Industries all the way down the stack, Snap-on, which by the way isn't home improvement, it's automotive, but it's a similar tool set. Stanley Black & Decker, Hillman, all the way down to the smallest company, which is Tough Built. We have a position in Tough Built, and so that's a full disclosure for you there. That's probably the only company we'll mention, so that we have a position in. Everything else is just let's talk, right? So one of the things about home improvement is that you can tell how the whole industry is doing. You know, rising tide lifts all boats. So home improvement, this video, how's it look, right? So first I'll start with a definition. This one's from Wikipedia. The concept of home improvement is a process of renovating, making improvements, or adding additions, upgrade the home interior, exterior, which could be masonry, concrete, sliding, roofing, windows, electrical plumbing. It could be the property. It could be gardening, outside garage maintenance. It could be inside. Now, a lot of people do all the discretionary work that they have to, such as a water heater breaks, water goes everywhere, you got to fix it. Lights go out, electric problems, appliances. But then there's discretionary, which is like what we almost did last year. We looked at redoing a patio. Probably would have been $10,000. Plus, by the way, I wanted a built-in barbecue and a built-in food prep area and refrigerator, an outdoor hardened refrigerator. That's another 10. So it's 20 grand. That's a lot of money. 20 grand. I better be like flush, right? And so we went ahead and we looked at the earnings transcripts for the retailers who sell stuff that goes towards do-it-yourself and professional home improvement. And we're going to tell you what they say about just general market trends. There is no confidential information. This is all general market trends. Now, over to the right, Yahoo Finance, great day in the market. And we are looking at some companies that we looked at in order to make the video and to write it up. We also wrote up our answers in our blog, which is U.S. Advanced Computing Infrastructures, Inc. website. And we do that because we want you to be able to go get the information yourself. You may not want to watch a video. I don't talk fast enough for most people. And so you'll see that like Tectonic Industries, TTNDY, leading, premier tool manufacturer, Hillman Solutions, they make the keys and stuff. They make the key makers, right? Things like that. Makita, Snap-on, which is more automotive, Stanley Black & Decker, which are all the names that you know, Craftsman, DeWalt, and others. Of course, Black & Decker. You have the LS Starlight Company, which is no longer going to be putting out information because they're going private. Fastenal, Fasteners, Toro, Outdoor, Bosch, huge German conglomerate, makes hand tools, power tools. You got the Home Depot, which is up almost 2.5% today. Home Depot sells a lot of these tools. On and on. Tough Built, tiny player. I like Tough Built. In fact, I'm going to show you something. Just bought something fun yesterday. I went out and I bought a 50 replacement for the blades and the reload utility knife, which is tactical. because it's got these magazines, and you can kind of pretend while you're at work that you're like a gunslinger or something, because you swap out a cartridge, slap in another cartridge. Now the reason you do that is because you can have different kinds of blades, which you might use for business. And that way you have magazines for different kinds of blades. I got so much. I love tough built stuff, right? So let's talk about it. How we doing, right, Jeffrey? What's going on? What's the market look like? And so I'm going to start with the end in mind. So I've got the stock tickers up because, again, I just wanted to show you that there are stocks that are just going gangbusters, right? And then there's a quantum computing stock which just dropped below $1, and we'll probably have to reverse split, which is Zapata. I feel really badly about Zapata because I knew the guys. I actually knew the guys well who were running Zapata. This stock recently went public at $10 a share in a SPAC. And, not great. Not a great story for Zapata. Under $1. I'm going to pour some of my malt liquor on the ground for those that we've lost in Zapata. All right, back to home improvement. Jeffrey, what do you get so distracted for? So, I published 5 of these. 5 of these. 5 of these. All right, so let's start with the end in mind. Now, I assume you can read pretty well, and so go for it. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you read it, but I just want to look at all these stocks that I follow. It's such an interesting time right now in the market. So, we're going to start off with Amazon. Now, Amazon said Amazon is looking to add selection to their product mix, even though they have hundreds of millions of products. They even have AI tools that you can scrape your own website and add the products to Amazon. But what's important is everyday low prices, which we know is even more important to our customers in this uncertain economic environment. Customers are shopping, but remain cautious, trading down on price where they can and seeking out deals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up a text editor. And I'm going to drop these important quotes in here. Excuse me. Now, why am I doing that? I'm doing that because you're going to probably be curious to find out what the true summary statements are. So this is Amazon. Amazon.com. Speed matters. I should know that. So this is Emerson. Emerson Electric Company. So these guys have confidence in underlying market conditions. So this is Emerson Electric. So they felt good. But they're going to have some regional things to talk about. China weakness in the factory was overshadowed by strength in India, Europe, Middle East, and the rest of Asia. So they go and they talk about location-specific factors. These guys, no issue, right? So starting off, we've got customers are cautious. We've got confidence in underlying market conditions. Now, Emerson really sells to corporations, and Amazon's mostly selling to retail. So let's take a look. This is Home Depot. Home Depot's really important because Home Depot is, in a way, like the whole market. So Home Depot says delayed start to spring and you continued softness in certain larger discretionary projects. And we heard that before, hence the word continued softness. Where the weather was favorable, they saw good customer engagement and strength in outdoor projects. So some weather-related factors. Yeah, this is important. This is some proof points. Big ticket count transactions, which are tickets over $1,000 a piece, were down 6.5% to the first quarter of last year. That's a fact. So we made a big ticket purchase last year at Home Depot. By the way, I love Lowe's for handling Tough Built, but truthfully, Home Depot is my normal store. And we replaced our front door and our screen. We had it professionally installed and painted, and new locks. That was over $1,000. By the way, the front door looks great, and yeah, but that was last year. So what about this year? I don't know. This is interesting. 3.3% increase in online digital platform sales. Now that is not what that is not consistent with what Amazon said, because Amazon was amazing. So pro and do-it-yourselfer performance was relatively in line. Both were negative, and the pro backlogs remained stable. We hear from pros that homeowners continue to take on smaller projects. So this is important because for the first time we're going to hear that the pro market is stable and smaller projects, because we're going to find out that that's similar to the automotive repair industry, but that's a different issue. That was Home Depot. So let's take a look at some more. Fastenal. Fastenal is a pretty big company. Now I love it because Dan Florness, the president and CEO, talked about it and gave a different statistic, which is really important. Core Purchasing Manager Index stuff. We're thinking like Grainger type of work. And we should probably look at Grainger next. I'm going to add that to the list. But the core PMI has been under 50, which means a contraction in business activity for 16 consecutive months. That's crazy. That's Fastenal Company. So I like it because their CEO doesn't really want to just guess and say, well, you know, I'm feeling my horses are slow. Fear, like Dune, right? Fear is the worst enemy. No. I love it. Fastenal Company just goes right to it. PMI has been sub 50 for 16 months. And they do handle a lot of safety products. This is interesting. They talk about severe weather in January as harming demand. That I'm just not used to that. You know what I mean? But and timing. The tone of business activity from regional leadership is best characterized as steady at weak levels. We're encouraged by PMI moving above 50 in March for the first time since October. But conditions remain better defined by the PMI reading. So they're saying we've had one good month in March, but that's not helpful, right? That's not enough. Let's take a look here. Snap-on Tools. It's interesting because Snap-on Tools, what we really looked at here is automotive industry. So what I'll call, improvement tools. A little different, right? Although, to be honest, I bought Snap-on Tools for my garage. I do use them for automotive work, but I also use them for home improvement work. It's interesting. Let's see. So Digital Turbine is still up about 9%. Tough Built is still up about 7%. Everything else is pretty flat. Zapata is down 24%. That's a hard day for Zapata. I'm so sorry, Zapata. Here's another drink in the grave. Which is where you're ending up. I'm so sorry. Okay. Professional auto repair shops. The shops buy tools and the individual technicians. So think of this more as a pro, kind of a pro mindset. So from an overall perspective, the auto repair arena is favorable. Vehicle and OEM dealerships continue investing in tools and equipment, but to them it's tied to new models. Shops are humming. Bays are at full capacity. Techs are well positioned, and they continue to invest, but it's in quick payback items. Quick payback items. Which, in the homeowner world, sounds a lot like small projects. Europe has half a dozen countries in recession. China struggling. India's booming. Tools Group is actually pivoting to making smaller items, moving their factory capacity to smaller items with smaller purchases. So that's interesting. The first quarter was below standard. That's rough. Sales were down 7%. Sales for the Tool Group were down 7% organically. That's rough. You know what? That's rough. I don't even know that I want to talk about that. Hillman. Hillman feels good. I like Hillman. Hillman Solutions Corporation. They're the people, they got a lot of kiosks and stuff at their customers, retail customers. And they go out and they do the supplying. They're right all over it. And so it's good to know. Let's see, what are we doing here? There's a line here I didn't like. The results were partially offset by the overall market and a 40 basis point headwind from price. So what do they mean by headwinds in the market? The macroeconomic landscape in the home improvement sector continues to show muted signs of improving. So then they blame inflation, which drives interest rates, which drives mortgage rates, which limits existing home sales, okay. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we don't look at something as simple as PMI and we have to do all that weird stuff, right? The pickup truck pro continues to be busy, albeit with smaller projects. And we did see the DIY is starting to get more active. But foot traffic and the overall market at retailers were negative compared to last year. Retailers are cautiously optimistic for the second half of the year. But this is the time to manage cost structure and manage business for this downward environment. This is Hillman. It's a good company. Gross margins of 71.6%. It's a healthy company. Their products are used, just as an example, for repair, maintenance, remodeling. During 2022 and 2023, the home improvement so these guys know, because their stuff small ticket and they're required for a lot of these improvements. It's been under pressure. Tough macro environment. So we're gonna clean up some of those quotes and make them tight, nice and tight. So let's get back to the first one we looked at. So this is just some stuff that we knew in the past. So I'm going to talk to you about it because it's probably interesting. Now I realize that not one person is watching this video. So I'm really talking to myself here. So if I'm talking to myself and no one's going to watch the video, can I just do a little dance here? Because we have two stocks that we have a position in right now. One is Digital Turbine and one is Tough Build Industries. And Digital Turbine is up 7.8% today. And Tough Built is up 8.5% today. That means my portfolio in these two stocks, which is not my whole portfolio, but it's the fun portfolio. It's the one that, to play money. It's up 8% today. That's nice. The market closes in 12 minutes, and it's up 8% today. I gotta say, I put money in a bond. I earned 5.3% in a year. I put money in these stocks yesterday, and today I'm up 8%. It's hard. It's hard to make money like that. Now, had I have invested in Zapata, I would have been down 24%. So, whatever. But I'm just letting you know that I'm pretty darn happy about how things are going with Digital Turbine and Tough Built. So, this is what matters. When you listen to earnings calls from all these so-called mavens, CEOs, who spent their life serving the home improvement market, what do these mavens say? What do these experts, so-called industry drivers say? I'll tell you what they say. They say the best thing to get home improvement is good weather. Good weather's nice. Housing prices. So the absolute level of housing prices going up. Housing price growth rate. So if houses are expensive and the price of a house is growing, home improvement does well. The rate of home sales, new and used, drives home improvement. And there's a point in there that's missing. I'm so sorry for anyone who reads our website. I'm going to go in, I'm going to clean that up right now because I missed a market maven point. And shame on me. Shame, Jeffrey, shame on you for missing one of the most important points. We have good weather. We have housing prices. It's the absolute level. We have housing price growth rate, which is trailing 12 months and forward expectation. We have the rate of home sales, new and used. And we have the age of homes. Older requires more maintenance, more work. So, and I'm going to put that, because it's not interest rate sensitive, right there. All right. You could take this one to the bank. I want you to take it to the bank with me. Jeffrey, we're taking it to the bank on that one. So, let's go back. So, Tectonic Industries, fat dividend. They're the ones that make all those power tools. They're really good at batteries. Batteries, vacuum cleaners, drills. They bought Milwaukee Tools and took it from a $200 million shop, or maybe it was $400 million shop, to $1 billion. Makita, no news. Stanley Black & Decker. This is the bellwether. This is the Sears of the tool industry. They go upscale with DeWalt. They go downscale or down market with Craftsman. So many brands. So many brands. So what do they say about the market? I trust Stanley Black & Decker to tell me the truth. Now, I'll tell you what I don't trust Stanley Black & Decker with. Being a hardcore innovator. These guys are not the innovator that you would have expected. These guys are really kind of slow burn. Slow burn. And it's okay. So what do they say? They're saying in May a significantly worse negative. So it's worse negative. Significantly worse negative macro environment and corresponding revenue performance in 2023 and 2024 compared to their own expectations. Now, here's the thing. I get it that you might be really bad at forecasting, but significantly worse negative is, wow. Cyclically depressed outdoor business. Okay? Doesn't sound good. So they're saying that they did really well with DeWalt. And I can buy that. DeWalt is an amazing professional brand. But they're saying that DeWalt growth was offset by muted consumer and do-it-yourself demand. Muted consumer and do-it-yourself demand. Their revenue was down. And again, same language. Muted consumer and do-it-yourself demand, which pressured volume. Pricing was flat, consistent with expectations. So, okay. Organic revenue for hand tools was down 7%. Now, I wonder if I were to look at Tough Built's revenue, is it down 7%, pressured by lower demand? Or would they say that their revenue is up? I don't know. This is so interesting. And then they have the whole regional picture, which I'm going to copy paste and I'm going to talk to you about. I think this is important. North America down 2%. Okay. Okay. So the North American market's tough. We have a presidential election. We have inflation. Maybe it's a tough economy. I don't know. In Europe, revenue was down 3%. France and Germany were down. I buy that. But good news in the Nordics and the UK. Now, all other regions were up 7%. Mid-teen growth in Latin America, Brazil, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. So if you're selling in Latin America, Brazil, Mexico, you're doing okay. I love it. So there you have it. We're going to go through these notes, and I got to tell you, this is some pretty shabby work I did originally. 5 web pages. Just to, tell you something that I probably could tell you in 1 web page. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new post. And so you're just going to watch me type here. By the way, while I'm doing this, the market closes in 3.5 minutes. I just want you to notice I am not trading any stocks right now. You can see my screen. I'm just letting it ride. Tough Built's up 12%. Digital Turbine's up 9%. So my position is up around 10.5% today. My portfolio is up 10.5% today. Now that's just the ones in these 2 stocks. I do hold the S&P 500, hedge funds, bonds, passive investments. And those aren't going to be up like this. But holy cow, I'm up 10% today in my stocks. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, week, home improvement, outlook. I could say globally. In Q1 2024. Per initial earnings. Call transcripts. It's good. So now, I'm going to take all y'all, put it in here. All right, yada, yada, yada. May 15, 2024. Jeffrey Cohen, President, U.S. Advanced Computing Infrastructure, Inc. By the way, if you're out there, drop a chat. I like it. I'll answer your questions even. I'm good at that. It's a good day today. It's a really good day today in the market for us. All right. So the first thing I want to say is we reviewed Q1 2024 earnings call transcripts for retailers and manufacturers in the home improvement, tools, and automotive tooling space. God, is my typing horrible. Companies reviewed. Because people want to know, who'd you review, right? Amazon.com. Emerson Electric. Home Depot. Fastenal, Snap-on. I think you have to capitalize that. Hillman, Stanley Black & Decker, all right, we're not up 10.5% anymore. We're up about 8.5% at looks like at close. It's been a while since I had an 8.5% day, though. I'll take it. I'll take it, and I'll run with it. Okay. Key takeaways. That's a perfect line. It's good. Just an issue with capitalization. So I like that Emerson is a contrarian, but I think Emerson is a contrarian because they're looking at big tools, big industrial tooling, and this is retail. I think people want to know big industrial tooling, things like data centers, electrical. Home Depot. Home improvement retailer. That should be capitalized. Retailer. While the quarter was impacted by a delayed start to spring, so what we want to say is not while, just the. The quarter was impacted by a delayed start to spring and continued softness in larger discretionary projects. And then they have a proof point. Big ticket counts, which is always good to have some facts, right? Some evidence. It's down 6.5%. That's fine. I don't care about this matters. Pro and do-it-yourself customers' performance was relatively in line. That's interesting. Those are all good data points right there. Okay, Fastenal. Sluggish demand. March was the first 50 plus PMI reading after 16 consecutive months of sub 50 Purchasing Manager Index. That's it. The tone of business activity is best characterized as steady at weak levels. Steady at weak levels. And then they said it. Severe weather in January harmed demand. Okay, this is rough stuff. What's Snap-on tools say? I'm sorry, I have to sneeze. All right. We're going to take a minute here. We're going to check on our digital turbine, see where that closed, where it really closed. All right. Closed at 256, up 8.5%. Tough build. Still not showing a close. We are customers of NASDAQ. Closed at 288. Up 10.3%. 1088. 10.5%. And it's up after hours. Digital turbine closed up 8.5% at 256. All right. It's interesting. It looks like the last sale was 282, but there must have been something happening after that. Okay. Something happened there. It looks like it closed at 282. Does that make sense? I'm not sure what it's... Oh, after hours is up 5 cents. That's all. Closed at 288. All right, so that's really nice news right there. It's going to be time to buy my wife a present once I sell out of that position. But I'm probably not going to sell out for a while because just no hurry. This is just the first day of the rest of my life. So, automotive industry, toolmaker, tool manufacturer. They said the automotive repair arena remains favorable. They continue to invest in tools and equipment. Period. Shops are humming. The bays are running at full capacity. technicians. Let's not be so informal, right? Technicians are well positioned and they continue to invest, but it's in quick payback items. That was important. So from a geographic perspective, Europe, China, China continues to struggle. Okay. India is booming. I'm going to paraphrase. Okay. Tools groups pivoting to smaller items, smaller purchases with immediate payback. Sales in the quarter were saw an organic decrease of 7%. And that's good. Those results are supposed to be pretty good. Hillman Solutions. And they make, I would say they make home improvement items, maybe. Yeah. So 40 basis point headwind from price. Right away, I got a price issue. The macroeconomic landscape in the home improvement sector continues to show muted signs of improving. So I don't care why. I just know that that's what it is. The Pickup Truck Pro continues to be busy, albeit with smaller projects. And we did see, DIY is starting to get more active as the weather improved throughout the quarter. However, and this is the bad news, the overall market and foot traffic at our retailers were both negative compared to last year. I don't care about your expectations. Our retailers are cautiously optimistic for the second half of the year. We'll continue to manage our cost structure and business for this environment. Okay. So that's tough. Those are tough. That's tough data. Stanley Black & Decker. By the way, can I just say, my two stocks were up a lot today. Digital Turbine up 8.5%. Tough Built. Show the close. Show the close, buddy. Do it. They can't show the close. They don't know the close. They don't have the last trades. Ah, so frustrating. Show me the money. Let's see if I can get at it this way. Yeah, 287. See that? That's with 6 seconds left. 283 is old news. 289. I think that's it. I think that's going to be like 287, 136 shares. Probably 288 is how they closed. Wow. I gotta tell you, pretty fabulous. Pretty fabulous. So, what else we got here? I guess I can make it bigger for you. You can see it. Stanley Black & Decker. This is particular. A considerably worse, a significantly worse negative macro environment. They have to say versus their initial expectations. There's a cyclically depressed outdoor business. Muted consumer and DIY demand. Which pressured volume. Pricing was flat. That's the quote. That's the quote. So they would say professional, which is DeWalt, showed strength, but muted consumer demand. Yeah. This is tough. Organic hand tools. All right. Now we have it regional. Tools and outdoor performance by region. North America down 2% organically. Europe, organic revenue was down 3%. So all other regions were up 7% organically in the quarter, driven by boom, 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 boom. Okay. So this is it. It's good data. It's a tough time to be in the space. I think this is it. All right, that's it. Did it, published it, got it out. So I want to thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you watched the video. It's great, actually. I really appreciate it. And if you have questions, give us a shout. It's a little distracted today. I'm going to drop this in the chat. Drop the link in the chat. That's where you find it. And take care.